Hi, this is Francisco, and this is Year in Review, and what we're talking about is business year in review as far as getting prepared for this coming tax season. And we're going to start first by talking about W2 and 1099 deadlines. In January 1st, 2016, the IRS changed deadlines that these forms are due. They're now due the 31st of January of each year. So when we enter 2018, by January 31st, you need to have your 1099s and W2s sent in on time. I always encourage people, especially with subcontractors, independent contractors. Sometimes they just have somebody come and work rather quickly, and they're like, oh, this guy needs a check, and okay, I'll give you my paperwork later, and they never fill it out, and then come year end, they're scrambling to get paperwork. So I always encourage that you call, you review your list, especially what we're doing nowadays is we have a list and we print from QuickBooks and see vendors and any missing information. We'll try to make sure we get it. So I always encourage, especially contractors listening, that you review your list, make sure you have W-9s for each independent contractor filled out with their correct information. And also have copies of their IDs for your records, because sometimes when these forms are sent, you'll get 6 months later a letter from the IRS stating that information was incorrect or didn't agree with their records. Go back and review your records. If you have this, there's no problem. If you don't have it, it's a problem, right? So a lot of times you think because you just paid an independent contractor with a check, it's fine to send them a 1099. No, you need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. So have the W-9 filled out, copy of their IDs, and then also a copy of the check. That way you can claim that expense as well. And then in reference to W-2 employees, same thing. Encourage you to go check, make sure that W-4 is filled out correctly. I-9 on file, copies of IDs for your employment records. Sometimes a number might be missing wrong. And what is this? This coming year, tax time, you guys are running your business, very busy. You don't want to be dealing with the headache of having to scramble or get a letter from the IRS stating that this number didn't agree. Right? It's better to have the information correctly, send it correctly, and Uncle Sam is fine and happy with you. Also, especially ending this year, a lot of us are just thinking about Christmas, trying to get everything straight. Record keeping and bookkeeping is very important. So what we find in our office and what we're doing with a lot of our clients is we're going through every month and make sure the profit and loss agrees with bank statements, right? A lot of times people are in a rush, or sometimes you have people come with a whole box of papers, which I've seen many times throughout the year, and they want you to, add it up. So it's better, to have good record keeping, and I don't know people listening and what system you may use, whether it's QuickBooks or just Excel. But it's very important first to have each month of your bank statements for many reasons, so you can know actually what went in, what went out. We're very, especially if you're running your business correctly and putting everything in the bank that you should, it's fairly easy because then you'll just add up your deposits to know your income for that coming year. And then in QuickBooks to make sure that your profit and loss for each month. Have my associates in the office review each month. So basically we have the bank statement and we're putting in, reconciling it, checking it, making sure that the numbers agree. And you'll find sometimes that when you're very busy, it's easy to put something in wrong or incorrectly, and QuickBooks is awesome, but it's so robust and has so many features, it's easy not to put everything in where it's supposed to go, or maybe it was assigned to somewhere incorrectly. So very important with record keeping, because in the long term it affects you and your business. And if you have proper record keeping, you're very organized, God forbid, right, knock on wood, you audit or anything, you have all the information that you need. And I find in my experience throughout the years, if you send everything in correctly, there's nothing, right? Usually there's no problem, everything's fine. It is random audits, which could happen to anybody, but you find, especially in the amount that you make, and if everything's up fine, and there's no problem whatsoever. So it's better to avoid Uncle Sam and any penalties because they're very steep, and just have everything in on time. Again, if you guys want to come into any one of our offices, please feel free to come in. Our consultations are free. We can talk to you about your business. We handle a lot of accounting, payroll for several businesses. Thank you very much for listening to week 2 year end. Please remember the deadline of January 31st so you can avoid penalties, get your forms in on time. Okay, thank you very much and have a nice day.